Hi, how you doing? Okay. Hi, guys.
Okay, good evening. Who wants to get us started? Luke Edwards.
Yeah, great performance from the lads. I thought really good energy today from not just the players but the supporters as well. I thought there was a really good feeling in the ground as the teams came out. A different atmosphere for these nights, and can't thank the crowd enough for the support, the love they gave the players. I think that really helped us. Thought our energy was good because of it. Our pressing was excellent. Our athleticism was really good, and that played a big part in our performance, I thought.
I think the win guarantees you at least the playoff place in terms of moving into the knockout rounds, but I guess you go to Paris with that hope of still being able to secure a top 8 finish as well.
Yeah, I haven't seen the table or sort of reflected on that too much. I think just focusing on this game really and how we played and the win and the importance of that, whatever it does to us in the table, we'll be in a bit better position than we were before the game. And of course we had, I think, one of the most, if not the most difficult last game, and we were well aware of that, and that put even more importance on this one, so delighted with the result.
Keith Downey.
Eddie, how pleased were you with your front three all getting on the score sheet tonight, and as well with Anthony Gordon and Harvey Barnes, who have done terrifically well in this competition throughout?
Yeah, I've been faced with a lot of questions on that throughout this season, and the fact that in the Champions League we've been able to score goals and we've looked a little bit freer than we have at times in the Premier League. A very difficult one to work out, but I think today's performance from the players that you mentioned was very strong. Not just in terms of the goals, but the relentless attitude they needed on the press, because PSV, very difficult team to play against. We knew that having watched them. They're tactically quite interesting with what they do with their goalkeeper and how they play. They were tough to get to, so it was big distances for them to cover. But I thought all three players were excellent in that respect and got rewarded with their goals.
How's Bruno in there in the dressing room, obviously having to be taken off before half-time?
Yeah, a little bit sore. It's an ankle problem. A little bit of swelling in his ankle, having just seen him. We hope it's not serious. Difficult to know. I think Bruno's the type of player that never wants to come off. He always wants to play, so the fact he has come off is a worry for us. We'll do everything we can to get him fit as quickly as possible.
Okay. We'll go to Lee Ryder, then George and Craig, please. Lee. Thank you.
Yeah, Eddie, on Anthony Elanga, the crowd were chanting his name. He talked about the energy there. That was a nice moment. Could you give a few words on that, please?
Yeah, a lovely moment, and I just think, again, a massive thank you to the crowd for that, because we want to create a football club that's sort of in love with each other. We need the crowd to love the players. We need the players to love the crowd, and that relationship is so important, and that's why I ask the crowd to try and give positive energy in every moment, even when it's really difficult and challenging to do so. I understand the emotions that everyone feels during games, and I thought it was a huge statement from the supporters, and I think Anthony then responded with his performance in the last two games has been really good. So I think harmony and unity is so important, so massive thank you to everyone involved in that.
How much do you want to give this squad a chance? Obviously you've been linked with a lot of players. You've said you're only probably going to get a defender in. They've got a lot of distance to run, having this squad.
What do you mean, Lee? Sorry.
Well, they haven't really gelled together completely yet, have they? They've got a lot of good times ahead. Hopefully, that's
well, yeah,
I'm
hopefully.
trying to be positive here.
Yeah, good. Well, I was just trying to get the train of your thought. If it's positive, I'll join in with you.
Positive.
I think we've got more to come. Yeah, no doubt about that. We're a new team to a degree. That's very much how I look at us. We're still bedding in new players and trying to get them to their very best levels. I thought today was a positive step in the right direction.
Thanks, Lee. George Colton.
Thank you, Lee.
Hi, Eddie.
Hi, George.
In some ways, more games is kind of like the last thing you need, but it is also exactly what you want, because it means you're going deeper into competitions. Can you talk a little bit about that sort of dilemma and how you're managing that?
Yeah, I don't necessarily look at it as a dilemma. It's, as you say, we want the extra games, so I think we've become conditioned to think that way. The flip side of that, it's not ideal to keep to keep playing every 3 days, it means we never train, which for me is always a bit of an issue, because I think we're better when we do. So we've sort of had to put that part of our work away and really focus on individual game plans and making sure we're as good as we can be in that respect. So we'll take the extra games if that's what we have to do to try and progress in every competition.
One feature of your management here is attacking cups, attacking competitions. Are you in the Champions League to win it?
We're in everything to win it, and that's not me saying that we are going to win it. It's me saying that we will do our best to win every single game, go as far and as deep as we can. But that's not in just this competition, that's in every game that we play. I think when you associate yourself with this club, that's the mindset we need, and that's the mindset we try and instill into the players.
Thank you. Craig?
Hi, Eddie. There's been a lot of debate around the centre-forward position this season. In fact, midfield wingers in every position. But through the middle and the wake of Alex going, is that the is that the closest you've had to that presence, that nuisance factor, Johan, how he looked there tonight? Given that he's got the assist, he's got the goal, and he's prayed on the last line, and he's been that sort of in-your-face front foot presence.
I just thought if I stay silent, you'll keep going. No, I think we've had games where our front three, I prefer to maybe talk about groups of players rather than any individual. I think we've had games this season where our front three or attacking units performed really well. I thought it was good today, but it was good tactically, it was good athletically. Relationships look quite good today on the pitch. I think we can still do better. But I've had games where I felt that also. But I just think having the two centre forwards fit and available that's transformative for us, because we don't have to overcook one player. We can rotate, we can try and get everyone on the pitch fresh and with the ability to do and play at their best level.
And just quickly, were you and the players aware of the difference a fourth goal would have made in terms of taking you above PSG towards the end?
No, not in that moment we weren't, but we always play with the same way. We always try to score. I never want to go to any game and we're at one stage and not look to score. I tell my players that all the time, so it's irrelevant really.
Thank you. Damien Spellman then to Scott, please.
Thanks, mate. Eddie, what would qualifying for the knockout stages of this competition mean to the club's development and growth?
Well, I think there's a financial implication there. So yes, of course, we always talk about income and PSR and trying to generate more revenue. So the more successful we can be as a team, the more we're going to help that. So we're aware there's a direct correlation there. But I think I never think financially when trying to help the team progress in every way. It's always about trying to win, just trying to achieve, trying to hunt for trophies. That's always in the forefront of my mind. So the financial side's a nice byproduct of that.
At the end of the game there, Lewis Smiley wearing the captain's armband. Nice moment for him. Is that something you can see him doing in the future at this club? Yeah,
very much so. I think he is potentially a future captain of the football club, which for someone so young is a big statement to make, really. But I think it was a spontaneous moment from Kieran to give him the armband. I wanted to protect Kieran and try and give him the best chance to stay fit. So I thought it was the right time to withdraw him, and he's given the captaincy to Louis. But it was actually quite a poignant moment and a nice one for Louis and his family, and I thought he was excellent again when he came on today.
Thank you. Scott?
Hi, Eddie. 2 seasons ago, Eddie, the home games against Milan and Borussia Dortmund, it just kind of felt that there were games that, for whatever reason, kind of got away from you in the Champions League. The 3 home games in particular this year, Benfica, Athletic, and now tonight, completely dominant, ultra-professional. What do you think, if you like's changed? I mean, clearly the opposition's a bit different, I get that, but what do you think's changed in terms of the way you've been able to handle those games on the Champions League stage?
Yeah, I think you have to mention the opposition, and I think that the teams that we've played have actually been good, and they've all been tough games. And today's game we knew was really difficult because the expectation was us to win. But having watched PSV, as I said before the game, I knew tactically they were interesting and very possession based. So we felt if our press was good and really good, then we could cause them problems. But if it wasn't good, we'd get exposed the other way. So that was a good battle to go into. I think we've had so many big games between then and now. We've been exposed. You know, you can reel them off like I can, and that just hardens you to that experience, and it becomes more not routine, but you know what I mean. It becomes normal, And then through those experiences, you can navigate your way through difficult periods in the game, maybe slightly better than we did in that moment where we were still relatively inexperienced.
Okay, we've got our colleagues from PSV waiting, so we're going to just take a few more single questions if you can. We'll start with Martin Hardy and then to Dominic, please, and then we'll go Kieran and Jordan. Thank you.
Cheers, thanks. That was a really tough night a couple of years ago in Paris, where the game finished with a late penalty. Is revenge part of the motivation for that night going back there?
No, it's definitely not revenge for us. It was a painful end. It was a sort of a back-to-the-wall heroic performance, really. And I remember Nick making a number of unbelievable saves that night to keep us in front. You never quite know how this next game's going to go against him. I've got a lot of respect for Luis Enrique and the way that he's coached his team and developed his team to become the team they are today and the success they've had. I think they're a real inspiration to us with their style. Yeah, so I think this is the hardest, if not one. It's difficult to put sort of a label on it, but one of the hardest games we can play, which would be great for our development. But we want to try and go there and win, of course.
And how great is the achievement to be level on points with the competition's holders going into that final game?
Yeah, I think we're in a very good company when you look around the teams. As I said, I haven't seen the league table, but I'm guessing I don't know the results tonight, but I'm guessing the names that we'll be up there with, and it's just great to see. And from our perspective, we want to stay there.
Okay, we'll go Kieran, Jordan, and then Dominic, please. Kieran, can you wait for the microphone, please? Thank you.
Could I just ask you about Johann's journey? He was playing French second division maybe 6 years ago and nearly lost his sight to be scoring on a stage like this. Can you just talk a little bit about that, maybe?
Yeah, I mean, it's been a great journey. I mean, my sort of sighting of Johann initially was obviously first coming into Brentford and seeing a player that we liked, but you're always seeing him from afar and you don't know the individual. And I thought his career at Brentford was brilliant to watch from afar, because last year I thought he was outstanding for them, scored a number of massive goals, and I loved his attitude and the way that he played, the determination, the aggression that he played with. And I think it's been a tough start for him here. I think for any new player to come and get a serious injury, having not even done a training session, that's really tough mentally. So it's taken us a while to get him to the level that is close to his best, and I still feel he's got some more to come. But big night for him tonight, because in part that's why he came to the club for these nights. Just pleased that he's made a positive impact.
Thank you. Last couple, Jordan and Dom, please.
Just on Sven Motman tonight, was that him back to his best, do you think?
Yeah, very, very close to it, because I thought he had a lot of the ball tonight, and his decision making on the ball was going to be so important to our success. I thought PSV pressed us well. We knew they would. They're a very good pressing team, but I thought with Malik and Sven using the ball as well as they did, it gave us a route out, and full credit to them both.
Last one, please, Dom.
3 successive games for Lewis Hall, playing the full 90 minutes. Just checking how he is physically and how carefully you have to manage him, given his injury history and the lack of cover, I guess, at left back.
Yeah, we do. We have to manage him very carefully, but we're hamstrung to a degree on how much we can, as we are with a number of players in our back line. So I think Lewis has done really well, actually. I think he's looked better and better. He's able to last games now, whereas when he first came back, it was sort of 60 minutes and you could see he's visibly getting fatigued. He looks strong, but we don't take that for granted. And of course, behind the scenes, we're working very hard to try and keep him fit.
Thank you very much, everyone. Cheers.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks so much. Thank you.